The cultural capital of Flanders, the Dutch-speaking northern area of Belgium, Antwerp is both a bustling industrial port city and an outstanding historic centre for Belgian craftwork and artistry. The city was once home to such famous artists as Rubens, Van Dyck and Jordaens, while centuries of prosperity through trade and commerce have bequeathed an inheritance of architectural beauty, which includes the magnificent cathedral, the town hall, and many other outstanding historical buildings in the Old Town Centre. For art lovers and culture vultures, Antwerp's excellent museums are the main tourist attractions and are a vital stop on any Belgian itinerary. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 rated attractions and things to do in Antwerp. And just wait till you see the number 1 that we're going to be showing in this video, something you would never even have thought of. So make sure you watch till the end. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more awesome travel guides, and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you know when we publish a new video. Let's cut to the chase. At 10, learn about migration history at the Red Star Line Museum. One of the newer tourist attractions in Antwerp, the Red Star Line Museum was opened in 2013 after 2 decades of planning. The Red Star Company's steamers transported emigrants from Belgium and surrounding European countries between 1883 and 1934, bringing them across the ocean to Canada or the United States to escape persecution, poverty and oppression. The museum is dedicated to exploring not only the journey and process itself, but the reasons that people chose to leave their home in hopes of a better life. Among the exhibits are the areas where passengers were selected for passage, some of whom were never given the chance to get aboard a ship. Areas of interest also include personal stories of those who did emigrate and those who were left behind, and accounts of the passage across the Atlantic. At 9, Royal Museum of Fine Arts. The nucleus of the collection inside the Royal Museum of Fine Art belonged originally to the Lucas Guild of Painters and Sculptors, founded in 1442. Following the winding up of the guild in 1773, the works of art accumulated over the years passed into the possession of the Academy of Fine Arts. In the mid-19th century, however, the collection was swollen by a substantial number of new acquisitions, particularly gifts, mainly of 15th and 16th century paintings, from Florent van Uitborn, a former burgomaster of Antwerp. The Academy found itself with insufficient space to accommodate the enlarged collection, and the decision was taken to build a new museum. The collection is housed on 2 floors. The ground floor is largely devoted to 19th and 20th century paintings and sculpture, some 1,500 items in all, providing, among other things, an excellent overview of the development of the plastic arts in Belgium since 1830. The exhibition of old masters on the first floor comprises more than 1,000 works, mostly from the Flemish and Dutch schools. Next up, at 8, see the collection inside Museum Meyer van der Bergh. In the course of only a short period during the 1890s, a connoisseur of the fine arts, Frits Meyer van den Bergh, assembled a remarkable collection of more than 3,000 items. These are now displayed on 4 floors of a neo-Gothic house at Lange Gasthuisstraat 19, known as the Museum Meyer van den Bergh. The collection includes some superlative works of art, among them paintings by Pieter Bruegel the Elder, Rubens, Jordaens, Boots, Van der Weyden, Van Ostade, Lucas Cranach and Quentin Masses. Also of great interest are the Flemish and French religious statues, the outstanding collection of ivories and a unique 16th century Flemish breviary, and in room 14 a polychrome group Christ with St. John by Henry of Constance and a Netherlands diptych. The second floor features a collection of porcelain, while 17th century furniture and paintings occupy the third. At 7, Plantin-Moretus Museum. In 1576, Christophe Plantin, the printer who hailed originally from France, moved into a house he christened de Gulden Passer, the Golden Compasses, south of the Grote Markt Grote. The house, lived in by Plantin and his Moretus family heirs, is now a supreme example of Flemish Renaissance architecture. Today, the building is the Plantin-Moretus Museum, incorporating the history of printing as well as showcasing the atmosphere of an old Flemish patrician house. The original furnishings, wide-ranging exhibits, and above all, the still tangible atmosphere arising from the proximity of home and workplace make this museum one of Antwerp's most fascinating tourist attractions. If you're short on time, make a beeline for Room 7, devoted to the history of books and the processes involved in their production, from the earliest forms of writing and development of the alphabet. Exhibits include important archaeological finds and manuscripts, to Johannes Gutenberg and the invention of letterpress printing using movable type. And afterwards, don't miss Room 24, which is a celebration of the art of printing in Europe as a whole, the jewel in the crown being a 36-line Gutenberg Bible on display here. And now, at number 6, learn about chocolate at Chocolate Nation. This museum is a, quote, treat for visitors with a sweet tooth. Oh yes, that's me. Located just across from Antwerp's Central Railway Station, Chocolate Nation is the largest Belgian chocolate museum in the world. What could possibly go wrong? Visitors are introduced to every step of the process via a multimedia presentation and interactive exhibits, from the cocoa bean's equatorial origins to the final product, which of course you can enjoy to your heart's content via samples and the museum shop. The museum also explores the special place chocolate has within Belgian culture and tradition, as well as the history of the confection's innovations here and in other countries. Exhibits look at the many ways that chocolate is used and presented, and visitors can even sign up for a chocolate workshop with take-home goodies. At 5, it's Take the Kids to Antwerp Zoo. Right in the centre of the city, Antwerp Zoo was founded in 1843. It is widely regarded as one of the finest zoos in Europe on account of its variety of species, its success in breeding, the care bestowed on the animals, which are kept in the most natural environment possible, and last but by no means least, its architecture. While the Art Deco facades of the entrance area are the first features to catch the eye, inside the zoo are several buildings of note, among them the Giraffe and Elephant House, in the style of an Egyptian temple. More than 6,000 animals of 950 species live in the zoo, including rare breeds such as the white rhino, okapi, and mountain gorilla. If you're visiting Antwerp with kids, a trip to the zoo is one of the top things to do. At 4, tour the museum aan de Stroom, MAS. Antwerp's Municipal Museum is housed in a fine example of modern architecture that features a geometric configuration of variegated stone and wave-shaped glass panels. This 10-story building resembles a child's block puzzle and sits overlooking the harbour on the former site of the Hanseatic warehouse. The museum's exhibits include a true variety of topics. Local subjects include a gastronomic history of the city on the 5th floor and a look at Antwerp's former role as the largest trade and shipping port in the world. The rooftop, which is open on top but enclosed with glass walls, affords tourists a full 360-degree view of the city and the port. Here is where you will find the Saluting Admiral couple sculpture created by local artist Guillaume Biel. Additional exhibits focus on international topics, including explorations of mankind's approach to death and spirituality throughout various cultures, as well as the ways that cultures around the world celebrate rites of passage. The 8th floor is dedicated to one of Europe's largest collections of pre-Columbian American art, focusing on the relationship between the native cultures and their gods. As well as the permanent collection, MAS regularly hosts a program of temporary exhibitions focused on a wide range of subjects. The museum also has a unique storage area on the 2nd floor, which allows visitors to view the racks filled with over 180,000 items that have yet to be placed into exhibit space. In total, the museum is home to over 500,000 pieces in its collection. And now at 3, Rubens' house. Peter Paul Rubens acquired number 9 in 1610, a year after his marriage to Isabella Brandt, living there until his death in 1640. He arranged the house to his own taste and requirements, making his home to the left of the entrance and turning the right wing into his studio. Following the French Revolution, it was used as a prison, thereafter falling more and more into disrepair. Rubens' house finally came into the possession of the city of Antwerp in 1937, and between 1939 and 1946 was meticulously restored with the aid of old documents and drawings. The 10 rooms are furnished in the style of the period and contain a large collection of paintings by both Rubens and his contemporaries. Among the pieces not to miss are Self-Portrait, Adam and Eve, and The Annunciation, all by Rubens, Self-Portrait by Anthony van Dyck, and Peasant Drinking by Adriaan Brouwer. The large studio contains several works by Rubens and others by his pupils. Outside, the formal gardens of the house have been restored carefully to try and closely replicate the garden as it was when Rubens was resident at the house. It's a great spot for a stroll after touring the house. Next up at number 2, Cathedral of Our Lady. The Cathedral of Our Lady is Belgium's largest Gothic church. Work was started on the cathedral in 1352, continuing until 1521. Long job then. Jacob van Thienen, Peter Appelmans, John Tack, Everard Spoorwater, Herman and Dominic de Wagamaker, and Robert Keldermans were among the architects and master builders who contributed to its construction. The church has suffered serious damage on a number of occasions over the years, depriving it of many of its precious works of art. First came a fire in 1533, then despoliation at the hands of dissident iconoclasts in 1566, Calvinists in 1581, and French Republican troops in 1794 and 1800. Sadly, only a few of the lost treasures have since been recovered. Restoration of the exterior was begun in the 19th century, and all the carved stonework on the outside of the building is therefore recent. Work on the interior began in 1965, starting with the nave, where repairs were completed in 1983. The finest of the remaining works of art are displayed in the nave and aisles, as well as in the cathedral treasury. And finally, at number 1, Grand Place. Antwerp's Grand Place, with its town hall and numerous guild houses, is the heart of the Old Town. In the middle stands the ornate Brabo fountain Brabo, erected in 1887 by Jeff Lambeau and depicting the Roman soldier Silvius Brabo tossing the severed hand of the giant Antigonus into the Scheldt. The town hall dominates the plaza's western side and was built by Cornelis Floris de Vrent between 1561 and 1565. Inside, the rooms are hung with 19th century paintings by H. Lees, illustrating the history of Antwerp. Apart from the Stadhuis, most of the buildings bordering the Grote Markt are former guild houses, which originally served as headquarters of the city's 16th and 17th century guilds. Among the most interesting guild houses on the north side are the Gildehuis de Kuipers, Cooper's House No. 5, the Huis van de Schutters, Archer's House No. 7, and the Huis van de Kruideniers, Grocer's House No. 11. Immediately behind the town hall, in the Gilde Kammerstraat, a former guild house has been turned into a folk museum devoted to the many traditional arts and crafts found in the Antwerp area, while nearby is the Ethnography Museum, which highlights non-European cultures. And there you have the top 10 rated attractions and things to do in Antwerp. Did you like what you saw? Let us know in the comments down below. Share this video with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fantastic travel guides. See you next time.